When will your choice be enough? So today, I'd love to share with you the most simple but most powerful lesson that I've learned in my 25 years in business for myself. And that is that my choice to do a thing is enough. But the instant that I go into, but why, or but how, or any kind of justification for my choice on any level, that is where the wheels come off the bus. It's temporary, of course. The wheels will be put back on the bus. But any justification that I'm attempting to do around why I have chosen a specific goal, dream, intention, or thing that I want to manifest will immediately grind the whole thing to a halt. Because what I'm doing with that is questioning myself and then defending myself to myself. And this is all usually going on in my head. Or perhaps I think I need to defend myself to life/God/the universe and justify myself to that. And in doing so, have forgotten temporarily that I am that. I am life. So I'm still just talking to myself, justifying my choices to myself, to a power that I am temporarily believing is outside of me, looking down on me and judging me for what I want. But that's not the way it is. Not in my universe, anyway. That is not the life/God/universe that I know and love. That is not the unconditionally loving tears of awe and wonder and joy one that bubbles up from the center of me like an unstoppable well of grace. I know what that feels like, and that judgment is not it. That is someone else's idea of life/God/the universe, someone else's view of what love is, but not mine. That is not the love I know. So whenever I am justifying a choice of mine or a desire of mine, and whenever I'm saying, but why do I get to ask for that? Or why do I get to have that or want that when no one around me seems to have that good of a thing or let themselves want that? And then feeling guilty, there's a part of me that just stops the bus. Because sometimes it feels easier to do that and throw my hands up in the air in resignation than it feels to accept the simple truth, which is always that I get to have that or have that way or want that way because I choose to. Over and over and over again, I choose it. In the face of all opposition, I choose it. I choose the feeling and experience that I want to have over and over. I choose it and I continue to choose it until it's real. I am relentless in my persistence and dedication to my choice. And it's as simple as that. And that is the only thing that has ever made anything that I ever made real. It is not an equal playing field on this earth life. We know that. It is not fair, quote unquote, by a mile. It's all over the place. But all anyone can ever do is start from where they are with what they have and choose from there. And choose again, and choose again, and choose again. We are made to believe that those choices are not powerful or that we don't have choices. But choices are the most powerful thing we have. And we always have them. They might be limited, but we have them. And again, we can only start from where we are with what we have, but we always get to choose. And those choices are the most powerful thing that we have. They are more powerful than anyone could even begin to quantify. They literally change everything and shape our entire world every single day. When I really think about that, it absolutely blows my mind. It's awe-inspiring. All I've ever done is choose. Just choose what I want and keep re-choosing it over and over, despite any and all appearances to the opposite. Like I said, I do what I can with what I have from where I am. And it's enough. It's enough to move mountains over time. And I truly believe that we could move mountains instantly if we were ready, but we are so often not ready for those mountains to move, even when part of us is and is screaming for it. Another part of us is screaming for it to stay the same. So whenever my mind gets to asking those questions about why and about how, and when it gets to feeling guilty or like it's not allowed to want certain things in certain ways and starts justifying those wants and needs, I just remind myself that it is that way because I chose it and because I'm choosing it. And it gets to be the new way in the future because I choose it. Period. And sometimes it looks like my choice is crazy. What right do I have to make that choice? My mind will say. How can I say I want that choice when I have no evidence for that? Sometimes it looks like my choice is impossible and utterly delusional and just naive. But if I do not stop myself to defend it and justify it and get lost in that, and I just trust myself instead that what I want is purposeful, and that often that purpose will be tenfold of what I originally thought or knew it was going to be. And it will reveal its full gifts to me and to the world later on. I don't need to know that at the beginning. I don't need to know what those are. If I just trust that, then I will come to fully understand the beauty and purpose of them when they manifest. And I will be shown that they were not crazy, nor impossible, nor delusional, nor naive at all. They were quite sane, totally possible, and utterly clear and wise beyond my years or current knowing. I couldn't have known what they would become and how me wanting that would affect everything in such bigger ways than I understood at first. And I've seen that enough times by now that I can trust that. And I'm always blown away by how much more beneficial in so many more diverse ways they are than what I originally thought they would be. So when I just stop trying to justify my choices and I just choose them, everything gets way simpler and way easier. And I come back to this simple truth inside. It takes a lot of energy to fight yourself all the time. So when you reclaim that energy from the fight, it goes right back into the manifestation of your vision. And trying to justify things is an unwinnable fight, by the way, because there's always both sides. And you can always find supporting evidence for both sides of any argument. So it's unwinnable. So when you just retract your energy from that fight, then you get so much energy back to use towards what you are working on. So if you're hemming and hawing about why and how and attempting to justify your choice to yourself, to your source, or to other people, maybe just gently remind yourself that the answer to why is because I'm choosing it. And the answer to how is by choosing it. The choice reveals the hows. So you don't need to know the how ahead of time. The choice reveals the hows. And when you do that, something in you relaxes. When you just let yourself know that, something in you just relaxes. It lets the human conditioned part of your mind rest its fight to try to know why or how, and to basically just kind of finally admit that it can't actually know those answers completely or absolutely ever. It's never going to absolutely, completely know those answers. So it it realizes that part of your mind realizes that, and it lets go a little bit. It's like, okay, I'm just going to relax. So it stops trying to fill in all those gaps and lets those things be life / God / the universe's / your own eternal soul's domain, so that the human you can relax into the power of your simple decision for yourself at this time in your life. Every time I do that, like really, really do that, everything shifts and changes so fast, it kind of blows my mind. But there have been weeks, days, months, and years that I have spent in justification and defense around some of my dreams and desires. But it's fine, because I always get there when I'm ready to. It's frustrating, don't get me wrong, but I always get there when I'm ready to. And you will too. And as always, if you'd like some help with that, I have lots of juicy ways to explore it. But right now, I'd probably recommend my latest release, Results Not Typical for Creators of Unprecedented Things, for this particular issue, which released on the 29th. But you can still join and just be behind the rest of the group, but you can still be in on the Q&As whenever they come up. And we will be specifically going over some of this justifying stuff in there, plus lots of other exciting topics to explore in relation to creating your most beautiful life. So for my fellow freedom-loving souls, I recommend checking that out. And if you need any other support, I would suggest going to sunnychapman.com/work-with-me, where you will find all of my creations and courses and guided oracle journeys, and just see what resonates with you. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.